You won't believe what happened when a sheikh in the Middle East tested a struggling single dad soldier in Arabic, and what the soldier said left the entire room in stunned silence. Stay with me until the very end, because this story will touch your heart in ways you never imagined. And if you believe in courage, resilience, and the power of respect, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more inspiring stories. It all began with James Carter, a decorated soldier, but more importantly, a devoted single father. He had served tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, but his greatest battle was raising his little daughter, Emily, after losing his wife to cancer 3 years earlier. Life had hardened him in some ways, yet Emily's laughter softened him each day. She was his anchor, his reason to wake up and keep fighting through the pain of loss. One day, James was assigned to a diplomatic mission in the Middle East. It wasn't combat this time, but rather a high-stakes cultural exchange where American soldiers were to meet with local leaders to build trust. James, though humble, carried a quiet talent. During his deployments, he had learned Arabic late at night, studying with old textbooks and talking to locals whenever he could. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough to connect with people. Still, he had never imagined this hidden effort would one day decide his destiny. The meeting was held inside a grand hall in Abu Dhabi, golden chandeliers glittering above, walls inscribed with Quranic calligraphy. Dozens of soldiers, diplomats, and Arab leaders filled the room. Among them was Sheikh Abdullah, a respected figure known for his sharp eyes and even sharper questions. He was a man who valued honor, culture, and truth above all else. When he entered, the room hushed, all eyes on him. He looked at the soldiers one by one, until his gaze landed on James. "You," the sheikh said in English, pointing directly at James. "I hear you have served in our lands. But tell me, what have you learned from us?" The air tightened. James could feel every soldier's eyes on him, even the generals waiting for his response. He stood tall, but inside, his heart raced. He knew this was more than a question. It was a test of respect, humility, and sincerity. Slowly, he bowed his head and replied, but not in English. He spoke in Arabic. He began with the greeting, "Assalamu alaikum." "Peace be upon you." The sheikh's brows lifted. The room stirred. Soldiers and locals alike leaned forward, straining to hear. James continued, his accent imperfect but his words heartfelt. "I have learned that honor is not in wealth or power but in the way a man treats his family, his neighbors, and his guests. I have seen generosity in the desert where men had little but gave everything. I have seen fathers teaching their sons not just how to fight, but how to pray, how to live with dignity. And I have learned one thing most of all, that strength without compassion is nothing." The room was silent. Not a single cough, not a single shuffle of feet. Even the translators sat still, realizing their work was unnecessary. James paused, his voice trembling now, but not from fear. He thought of Emily and pressed on, "I am a father. And what I have learned from your people is this: a man's legacy is not his medals, his money, or his victories. It is his children. It is the respect he leaves behind when he is gone." He finished, lowering his eyes respectfully. For a long moment, the sheikh did not move. His expression unreadable. Soldiers held their breath. And then, slowly, the sheikh stood. He walked toward James, his robe flowing silently across the marble floor. The tension was unbearable. Would he rebuke him? Challenge him? But instead, the sheikh extended his hand. In Arabic, he said loudly enough for all to hear, "This man speaks with the heart of a warrior and the soul of a father. He honors us." The hall erupted in applause. Soldiers clapped, diplomats nodded, and locals placed their hands over their hearts. James, overwhelmed, shook the sheikh's hand firmly but humbly. For the first time since his wife's passing, he felt something heavy lift from his shoulders. Not pride, but peace. Later that night, as he video-called Emily from his quarters, she asked him, "Daddy, did you do something brave today?" He smiled through tired eyes. "No, sweetheart, I just told the truth. And sometimes, telling the truth is the bravest thing we can do." Emily giggled and said, "Then Mommy would be proud." His throat tightened, but he nodded. "Yes, Emily, I think she would." The story of that moment spread beyond the walls of the hall. Weeks later, soldiers still whispered about the single dad who silenced the sheikh's hall with his Arabic. To James, though, it wasn't about fame or recognition. It was about showing respect, about bridging worlds, and about proving to his daughter, and himself, that even broken men could still shine with honor. So, what can we learn from James's story? That no matter where you are from, respect is a language everyone understands. That being a parent is the greatest legacy. And that true courage is not in fighting wars, but in building peace. If this story touched your heart, imagine how many more people could be inspired by hearing it. So make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories of love, courage, and resilience. Because sometimes, the words spoken from the heart can silence the world, and change it forever.